Thank you for the sub, Veneno. You are such a sweetheart. 2 months. Thank you for continuing to be a loyal member of the Cupcake crew. Hi, Geronimo. Thanks, Organis. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little looking at the options for the game before the stream starts. Reduce the text outline? Is there a way to preview it? Doesn't look like there's a way to preview what, like, the difference is. Well, I'll leave it on medium and I'll check the options, like, after we get started if it looks weird. But it's good to know that that is, in fact, an option. I'm not sure how much reading I'll do, like out loud. Just finished up scenes in chapter 2. Some things that maybe you'll regret. Figure out the context of the choices. Yeah. Typically when I play visual novels, I make a lot of saves. So if I do something I regret, I can try again. But with this kind of game, I don't see myself doing that. Like, if it's, say, like a Fate game, then yeah, I'm probably gonna make a lot of saves and then just, like, jump around through them. Or, like, definitely, like, when I played Tsukihime, I made so many saves because I actually went hunting for bad ends at one point. Oh. Hi, Ari. How are you, Izzy? On your 11th save? Yeah, I'm not sure, like, I might just do like a straight playthrough. Well. Oops. I was on the wrong. Oh my gosh. I'm a professional streamer. I was live on the what's it the whole time on the game and not the countdown screen, and now I screwed up the thing. Oh gosh. I'm very good at this. Shoot! I thought it was flipped. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Yeah, grats the other night, Frodo. I'm still salty. But start a new game. Welcome to Our Life, Beginnings and Always. There are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. Game is divided into episodes called Steps. Childhood, adolescence, and teenage. Further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Ones can be played in any order or skipped entirely. Move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer is ending. Steps 1 through 3 include 5 moments each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing some DLCs. Which I did, by the way. I did that from the outset, so I have all the DLC installed. Because, like, whether I like it or not, I want to support games that have features kind of like this game has. But you'll see more on that later. Opportunity for water and snack? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I imagine I'll play this for a couple streams at least. And I will only be playing this on stream. Hey! Thank you for the gift sub, Frodo T. Baggins, to Izzy. Welcome to the Cupcake Crew. Yes, enjoy your Tadazi hugs, Emo. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character. Name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to change details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on a character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. And yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, Izzy. I saw it in your profile, so I was like, okay. Since you mentioned it there, it's probably good to use. And yes, thank you, Nightbot. I am drinking water. Yeah, and I said it in the tweet, but yeah, just so you know, we will be transitioning our main character as we play. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Preset options are called voiced names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Aww. Only the default name, Jamie, is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by getting a free voiced name expansion DLC. Did I not get that? I didn't see that. Hold on. Eventually it gives you a screen asking about how you feel about the boy. Thought it was an indicator, not a setting. Oh gosh. Oh, voice name DLC isn't out right now? Okay. Full collection of names will be separated out as DLC that releases shortly after the game launch because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't need to get it. We'll get it. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like with the different traits put together. All of the things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. The script referencing what you've decided for the MC is the main way those decisions influence the game. Our Life has a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other character sprites. You only see the MC as the decorative doll on the character creation screens. Oh! Thank you for the host, Frodo. There's also a second type of special MC-based screen, the interest/comfort screen. Unless you get the DLC, the game has one love interest, Cove Holden. Grows up with the MC, and the interest/comfort screen is crucial for determining how that plays out. Interest level sets how much you like him. There are 4 different levels: disinterest, fond, crush, and love. Love is only available starting in step 3, and if you were at fond or crush in step 2. Aww. I like that little emote. That's cute. Comfort determines how you generally react/think when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. Oh. Thank you for the host, Veneno. Your level of interest and comfort will set the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest. What you did in the past will influence the present, and feelings can change over time. Okay. Have a good day at work, Veneno. Get to pick your interest and comfort near the beginning of every step. Comfort can switch between the 3 levels as you please. Your interest level can only stay the same or increase. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond at step 1, disinterest will be gone from steps green in steps 2 and 3, which make fond the bottom level for your relationship. The interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting in step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're at crush or love. To make sure that things go nicely with that, there will be an extra choice to determine initiative level and a bonus mini tutorial that goes along with the choice to explain the feature in more detail. That's good that it's safe for work because I would not be able to stream it otherwise. Basically, even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. Aw, that's really nice. I like that. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures, etc. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. Interest/comfort gets the basics down. But it's choices that appear throughout the normal game events that decides what actually happens between the MC and Cove. And it isn't only the MC who is impacted by your decision. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences help shape who he becomes. In step 2 and step 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interests will vary based on what happened in the previous step. Oh, that's neat. Something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You can try to guess as you go along. Or if you prefer, you can also just design your own ideal Cove directly using the Cove Creator option. Wow. I think we'll probably let that rock. Like, let Cove look how Cove will look and not choose to design him. We'll design ourselves. Making the choices you want is always more important than making a choice because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. When a choice does appear, you'll... Oh gosh. When a choice does appear, usually you'll see that hovering the cursor over an option shows a certain color, yellow, blue, or green. Colors aren't related to specific points or effects, they're only there to give a bit of insight on the tone or emotion of the choice. This text can be potentially read in more than one way. That is helpful. Blue tends to be casual and straightforward. Yellow, more emotive / reactive. And green, less certain and uncommitted. I'm actually gonna write that down because I will forget. Unless there's like tooltips for it. Like equals casual. Yellow equals emotive / and green equals less certain. Probably going to see a lot of green from me. I'm going to play this probably like how I would act IRL. Oh, for like, I guess the most part. Though there are hundreds of options in our life, and not every choice menu falls in line with that pattern. Picking just one color every time doesn't give you a gameplay benefit. Only stick to a certain type if that's what you happen to like, otherwise switch between them freely. That is exactly what I plan to do. I just assume there's going to be a lot of green because I am kind of like that. Always pick yellow, never pick yellow, pursue romance right from the start. Never romance a love interest, be disagreeable or amiable. None of them will lead to a bad ending. No bad ends. That's a unique take for a visual novel. You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation. And then, if you like, you can play again to try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. Yeah, I agree. Like, that's why my first playthrough is never an evil playthrough. I can't do it. I feel too bad. It's like if I ever do an evil playthrough, it's probably the last thing I do with that game. We hope you'll have a nice time with Our Life. Thank you for playing. Alright. Let's go. We're gonna take a look at this. Kind of pointed. Olive is probably closest. Let me look at my arm. Eye shape. A lot of eye shapes. go with that. Rectangle. Makeshift face cam incoming. I actually thought about waiting until I had my VTuber ready before doing this, but meh. I just wanted to stream it. Color. Go all pink. It could be very anime. We'll go with brown. Hair. Well, actually first, let's go. We are transitioning. We're gonna start with heat. So, first name. Give me dead name ideas, basically. While I look at hair. Yeah, probably wouldn't have any in the back. We can look at it later. Jeez, a lot of options. Yeah, let's start with none. Ash? Okay. Actually, like, last name would be something to pick too. I'm gonna just look around the room for something. I don't know. Like, I always have trouble with names, honestly. Carnation? I do like the flower idea, actually. I kind of like that. You know what? We're gonna go with that. And first name. What's a good first name? Well, it's going away pretty soon, to be fair. So, actually, do I want to use Tina for the other name? For a real name? Post-transition name? You know what? Yeah, I probably will. So... I'd rather not. Nah. Huh. You know what? I'm just gonna go to a random name generator. Let me search for one on Google real quick. Name. Bruce? Nah. You know what? No. Let's, Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Something reminded of when Bethesda was demoing Skyrim at cons. Tons of people just use their demo time on the character creator. Oh, you can have two-tone hair? That's cool. Probably gonna go with that one option we found before. Yeah, that's probably fine for the starting one. Change page. Let me see this. Yep, that's fine. For a start, birthmarks. No. Scars. Nah. Rosy cheeks. Nah. Freckles. Nah, I don't have freckles. Glasses. Didn't wear glasses at first. But we can take a look what the options are. Didn't know we needed glasses until like late in life. From what I remember. I think my mom said it was like college, high school, like end of high school, start of college, that we like were like, oh, glasses are helpful. And just didn't know before that. I don't remember, but like, yeah. Apparently that was a thing. Just didn't know. I just thought like it's normal. You can't see before, like past your arm, apparently. So, let's see, scars. Yep. Clothing types? Well, since this is like the before times, accessory types. I don't think we were allowed to wear that stuff. Like maybe hats. I think we were allowed to wear hats. We'll go with that. Take one last look. Sure. That's a good start. We can move from there in the next step. Done. All right. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. Maybe save right away? Oh, sure, that's actually a good idea. Save. That'll be save slot 1, and we'll just move on to save slot 2 for everything else. Did we just read that? Smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. I wonder if that's like, we have 2 moms, or if we like, is it like being more general? That'd be cool if you canonically have two moms in this game. That'd be really cool. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird. They mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. Ah, awesome. Don't know how common this is in the other visual novels, but you found you can right-click to access the menu, mouse wheel to go back to the dialogue. Ah, yeah, that's cool. Convenient. They built businesses, got to know each other. They definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They always saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. We're gonna go ahead and save here. Now. I'm wondering, do I play this like how I am now? Or do I play it like how I'm told we were back in the day? Well, that's habit. That's how I play visual novels usually. But yeah, I'm actually trying to decide, how am I gonna play this? Do I just play I've always been like this? Or do I play we changed over time? Or opened up? What kind of story do I want? Gosh. If it's just random people, and well, I don't remember how I used to be. I just know how I'm told we used to be. That's it. And I'm told that you're very shy, so we'll go with early shy. Your transformation will feel much better in the next chapter. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. I like that. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel a little more comfortable. But today, there's a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really, really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So, for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your mom's had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. Oh, cool. We have a sibling. And listening at the time, it'd be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. Oh, gosh. Decisions! Alright, gosh, yeah, if there were a strange man, on a scale of a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet and a Walking Dead, I don't know. You know, we'll go with the middle ground. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Yeah. Like... if we used to be timid, then... yeah. If you used to be timid, then scared is like the appropriate response here. Slowed down, mind racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met, and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you and made you jump, but you still didn't look at him. A bird landed on top of a nearby gate post, and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way towards you. Probably, right? Do you live around here? What's your name? You look the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. And suddenly I saw it was totally hot and I was less creeped out. Wow! He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for you to answer his question. What was the question? Do you live around here? Right there. Yeah. Answering questions. Nice to meet you, Jamie. A broad smile, relief settling on his face. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill, crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Oh, God! Even more confused than before, you looked back at him.
Well...
Is there a way to, like, up the... Hold on. We'll lower the volume down a bit. Raise the voice volume some more.
Well...
That's better. Maybe a little bit lower.
Well...
That's good. Good level. Alright. Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have... Let me start over. Cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it made him just look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. You cheat on the inside of your cheek. Cool. That is true. Like, honestly, Cove would probably be a cool name. If I were a kid. I would think that was cool. Moved in across the street, see? Gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year. His watch catching on the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. Must be Jamie last, right? Oh gosh, did we not? Wait, no. Did we not change the name? Wait, what? Hold on. Shoot. I swear we changed it. Hold on. Menu. Yeah. New file. Wait, what? What? Menu. New file. No. See. Carnation. I think we had parted 2. Pointed. I think we had that one. Leg scar. Oh wait, no. Leg scar. Tab is skip key, not control. Okay. Shirts. Okay, yeah. We definitely changed it. Okay, it auto-skipped. I always had to say hi. Too anxious. I forget what I picked last time. Felt scared. Yep. Yep. There we go. Fixed it. That was quick. Got your mom's earlier, and they told me you were 8, just like him. Okay, so we're going to make this the new save. Yes. Now you save slot 1? Oh. Sure, fine. He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile, tilting his lips at the corners. Can you try to be friends with a boy? Give it a chance and you can keep this. To just, like, meet someone? Yeah, that's, like, oh, gosh. You gotta keep it a secret, too? It wouldn't be friendly to just say his dad sent you? Oh, gosh. Huh. Interesting. I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Oh, gosh. Shoot. There we go. Not sure. Out of context, maybe? Wow. Robin, please. I know how, like, I would feel today. Like... I'd probably choose this, though. Had your mom's done that for you and Lizzie? A thought made you frown. What do you say? I want to make a deal? Yeah, $20 is a lot, but if you're a kid. Can't remember how you would have acted as a child. It's fine to default to how you would act now. Honestly, I would feel bad. Like, that's a bad way to start a relationship. Like, if you're gonna be friends with someone, you're gonna be friends with someone. We're not taking that money.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I would probably want to meet someone. Like, I understand didn't have a lot of friends growing up, so like an opportunity to meet a friend would be a good one. So like a thing I literally just did. Well, like, I'm not answering like exactly what I would do now. I'm answering like based on what I know how I guess a young version of me might have reacted, kind of, sort of, but not really. Like, it's hard to explain. Alright. Laughed when I said that. The way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? Oh my gosh. Pink cast and glasses, you can't miss it. I can try. Yeah, good call. Don't touch. Mom's already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting. Thought he might come back, and that's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Jesse, so much. Yep, let's go check those hills. Oh, step one, first sight. Chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. Hold on. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You'll have to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and the sea serpents. Absolutely everywhere. Okay, like, both of these are really good answers. Like, both of these. Both of these are super good answers. Like, how do I pick? Like, I would choose either one. Those are both true. What's more true? Go with the color indicator? Well, I would go with like what's slightly more true, and I like stories more than I hate sand. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. There's a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and the white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have... He looks sad. This new boy did. You wonder what could have upset him? After a few more seconds, you took a step forward and then another, and then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. At the start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? Ah. Eyes wide, he studied you. How'd you know that? That's your dad.
Oh.
So, is this your hill? Gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. You can't own a hill. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, this still isn't mine. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Why did you move? Almost like they never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents. They don't wanna... Oh, jeez. They don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Ko's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm sorry. Yeah. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Ko wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms, but it must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Jesse!
Cove?
Oh. Kids, where did you go? Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to answer any of these. None of these are what I would say. This is like the closest. He stood up, struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. Like, it will be okay. It's not gonna be all fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. Yeah, sure. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice, silent, and turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm.
Sorry.
I still don't want to go. Yeah, I get it. Wait here silently with him. You do? You heard Cove's dad even closer than before? A trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you and they rushed over. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Jesse, you're here after all. I like that, Mom and Mommy. That's cute. We had been at the park to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. Like, that would probably be the answer, but, like, I don't like that the color is that color. Like, it's... This is probably closer for tone. But then, like... Still not worry about the colors too much? I don't know. I'm not worrying too much, it's just like when the phrasing is awkward. Or like when it can be interpreted multiple ways. Like, why is everybody acting like this is a big deal? Thank God you're fine. You having fun out here? Who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. Option 4. Oh my gosh. Right out the gate horny for your new neighbor. Oh gosh. Like, oh gosh. Honestly, like, we weren't exactly having fun, but I want to comfort him. And like... is the answer here. Like,
That's a relief.
Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Jesse knows this whole area so well. Absolutely, we should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
Two of them walked off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. We'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? It sounded like words. What kind of sassy kid? Like, what was the exact question? Like, yeah. Oh my gosh, hold on, 1 second. Why is this, like, why is this being like this? Oh yeah, he did say it was not, like, working anymore. That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, and then I nod and duck my head down. Both of your moms laughed, sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Nervous indifference? Nah. That's closer. Nervous fondness? Like, nah. Cause like... Cove's in a rough spot, And it's like, yeah, new person, nervous. But at the same time, it's like, I want to be there. I want to help. You get that. Nervous fondness is like the closest thing. It's definitely not comfortable. Let me see what like the other expressions are. No, not direct. Oh gosh, yeah, that's close enough. Childhood friendship. At the breakfast table next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but she'd stayed put. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Hold on. Okay. Excited to see your new friend again, Jesse? You nodded, smiling slightly. Oh yeah, let me save.
How sweet.
Aw, so happy you moved in.
Okay.
That said, are you done with your breakfast? I mean, yeah, like that is... Cleanup began on... Then, on cue, there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Jesse, could you get it? Of course! Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way to the door. Hey, Carnation family, thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting in your living room and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and Mom and Mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled at Cove. He smiled back with some hesitation. You want to see my room?
Okay.
Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
You let him into your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. There are lots of stuffed animals, cool bed, and a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. You leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. Alright, that is something I would say is I don't, but like... I don't know, like, since I'm proud of stuff, like... At the same time, yeah, I would be like... I don't know! Oh, gosh. I don't want to be that, like... I have such mixed emotions. Like, oh gosh. Thank you, baby? Like... Yeah, probably thank you. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. Aw. Yeah, like a thank you makes sense there if you're proud of it. He turns around to look at the room a little more, studying on the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. Weird as it is to think, probably the most balanced reaction when you don't know would be to think, what would Greg do? Guy lives in neutral country? Alright, what was it? It was like studying the books on your desks and the pictures on your walls. Feel some nervous. You want to say something but didn't know what, so you let him keep looking. And his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you'd collected, tucked away by your door. You took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove— Ow! Okay, no playing with a knife while I'm playing a computer game. Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flop down next to it. Yeah. You gesture to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
This is a good collection. You got a sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice or to be like Shiloh, he actually meant it. Ah, Shiloh is coming over. Shiloh? My sister's friend. He wants to meet you. Do I have to see him? It'll be okay, I think. Here, I found this shell in a log, and you pull out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. You're really proud of your shell collection, and it made you happy that Cove was interested in it too. Apparently fascinated either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then while showing him your collection. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that a parent made it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was a part of that would be a bad idea. Well, that's why you just don't do that! Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I need water. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Okay, but be careful. You weren't sure if you could trust someone else with your treasures yet, so you stayed next to him while he opened the lid and peered inside. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned it to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one is the best of them. Okay. Thanks for hanging out, Robin. Like I said, I'll probably upload a VOD of this, after I'm done streaming. So I'll put that in the Discord. So you can like check out the rest later. I think this one is the best of them. All right. Sad kid in a bad situation. Has something he likes from your box of treasures. You want to cheer him up, then yeah, you can take it. Cove looked at you in surprise, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. That's a hard choice. Like, oh gosh. I'll let it go. I don't want to pressure him. It's supposed to make him happy, not nervous. Plus, Cove was your neighbor now. Maybe you could give it to him another time. Exactly. Two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. I'm sorry, there's no way to go. Nowhere to go. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window! He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward and then paused. Gosh. New friend is getting away. Can't low. I'll come with you. Hurry, they'll see where we're going. He glanced back at you and then nodded. The two of you made your way to the window together. It wasn't much of a distance to clamber out, but by the time you landed gently in the bushes, you looked up to see that Cove was already taking off away from the house. Oh, gosh. Wow, speed comparison? Like... I'm not fast either. I don't know, like... Let's say, like, neither of us are really that fast. We're kids. How fast can kids be? Well, kids can be kind of fast, I guess. How athletic both of you are? Yeah. That's how I read it, and I'm like... I know I'm not gonna be fast. Like... Well, let's see. Well, I'm gonna flip a coin, I guess. Like, how fast is Cove? Coin flip. Alright, heads is... He's fast. No, wait, what is it? What was the order? Right, heads is we're both slow, tails is he's fast. I got tails. With this Google coin flip thing. So I wasn't sure if I could go fast enough to reach him. Hey, wait up. You ran as fast as your legs would take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously, Cove slowed to a halt and looked back at you. Where are you going? I don't know, somewhere else. I just don't want to see... Oh. You look back and saw Shiloh huffing down the hill after you, the backpack he clutched bouncing all around along the way. What are you doing? Can I come? He must have seen you leaping out the window and followed behind.
Hi.
Aw, hello.
Yeah.
I'm Shiloh. Okay. Are we gonna play outside? Shiloh's eyes move between you and Cove. The smile remains strong on his face. It got a tiny frown from Cove in response. You were just grateful he hadn't asked why you had been running away. Inside, we left the box on the floor. Yeah, I want to check. I hope Mommy didn't.
Okay.
You planned for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned. The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. You held out a recent find to Cove, a scallop shell that had washed up on shore. It's a pretty color, kind of like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. I agree. Okay. Wow!
Oh?
Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. Might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how to deal with silence. I will be right back, though. I need to use the restroom. Oh, you didn't Oh yeah, I guess you would make different choices. So you wouldn't know, like, oh, you can actually leave? It was like, like, I am a follower. I'm a follower. I will follow when people go places. I'm not a leader. Yeah, I'm not sure how to deal with that. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of a park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too, right, Jesse? The park is fun. Like... Okay, I'm gonna save here because... No, I disagree. The park is not fun. But at the same time, I would still go. Like, I would show him. Like, it doesn't have the right answer here. Like, no. Oh. I still want to go see. You do? Yeah. Are we gonna go find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just want to check the park out. Adrift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your moms that it was so short, she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Jesse, Shiloh. Hi. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. Who's that? It's Cove. He's new.
Hi.
I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured widely with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids couldn't own places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes through the sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. Jeez, you are?
Uh-huh.
Who else could handle the job? Lizzie is the oldest, by a lot. My mom say you're Jesse's age.
Yeah.
Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group in the double digits. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth.
Oh.
Poor Cove. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Ugh. Stop saying stuff like this. Shiloh is the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Jesse in school. It's kind of funny how like our names turned out that way. You'll see tons of kids there once summer is over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort, at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely you didn't really know. But she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird, Cove. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. Aww. You offered him a small smile at that, and that at least looked to reassure him some. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh. Ah, I see what you're talking about. Config. Finn. Hold on. For the rest of the summer... I did set it to Finn, so maybe none? No. I'll leave it thin. For the rest of the summer, I guess this is just, like, never mind. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way the sun and lunch and the beach were. During your first summer together, you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you too. Of course, that was only the start of things. Save. I guess it's time to choose moments now. Yeah, we are not skipping all the moments to end summer. I can tell you that much. I just don't know, like, where to start. I'm thinking, like... I kind of want to start with a library. Yeah, let's go to the library. Actually, is that okay? I'm sure I can stream it, like, cause it is DLC. I'm sure it's fine. I don't... Like, is there anything in here, like, against that? Like, if it asks me not to, then I'll have to do that off stream, but... Let me go to the store page real quick. I don't think there would be anything here. I don't see anything. Yeah, let's go to the library. Every year, the Sunset Bird Memorial Library held a summer reading program. Your moms and Lizzie were big fans of it. Mom and Mommy because it was encouraged reading, and Lizzie because she could win prizes. When it came to what you thought of having to read a bunch of books and then going to the library with a competitive Lizzie, I mean... Yeah, I would love it. Lots of books. Each time it had been one of the highlights of your summer. Your mom still brought up the time where you shyly made her thank you card for letting you participate. You and Lizzie went with Shiloh before, and this year you brought Cove too. His dad had been so over the moon about Cove being included that he'd driven all 4 of you. You had never been in Cove's dad's car before. My throat. It seemed a lot shinier than your mom's. Oh. In bed, but may pipe up if it seems important. None of the events are particularly crucial, but they can all have long-term impact. Memories made and all that. I just wanted more stories, so I went for all of them. Yeah, that is my plan. Like, I want to play all of them. Because I bought them! After herding the group inside, Mr. Holden gave you all a wide glaive with the arm that had a stingray on it. Have fun, kids. Stay inside of the librarians, you hear? I wish I could watch you in action, but your poor old dad has to finish up some work.
I got it.
Though I'm sure that won't get in the way. Heck, I'd probably hold you kids back. There's pointedly no reply from his son over what was likely meant as only a joke. Cove's dad seems to deflate a bit. I'll swing around again when this shindig ends. Yeah, you can go. Oh gosh, you can go home now. You don't have to throw me out the door. Your sister, already in full competition mode, cut him off. For once, Cove looked grateful she was there.
Come on!
We have to go find a table, Mr. Holden. You can talk to Cove after when we win. Okay. See you in about an hour. Have fun. Did I say that already? My advanced age is really catching up. Yeah, you look so old, dude.
Bye.
Bye, Dad. Bye, son. The 4 of you watched him shuffle out of the library, glancing over his shoulder at Cove more than once.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Holden. Thank you for bringing us. Thanks, Lizzie. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Are you copying Shiloh? Distracted, Cove was already glancing around the gigantic library. I want to go explore. What? I said I want to go look around and see what's in here.
But
the quiz starts soon. That's why we came. Why did the first signs that conflict? Shiloh's eyes started between Lizzie and Cove. And you can do it without me, right? You don't need a bunch of people. Didn't your dad say to stay with the librarians? You shouldn't go somewhere by yourself. Cove leveled an unimpressed stare at both of them, then his eyes met yours.
hey!
Why are you looking at him? Jesse is with us. Jesse can come if he wants to. Go over to Cove.
Seriously?
Cove looks surprised, but happy at the same time. I want to keep him company. He's nice. He's friend. This was something you'd quietly admitted you were looking forward to, and you'd still picked his idea instead. Fine, let's go, Shiloh. Her arms folded, your sister stormed off. Shiloh had to race to keep up with her. She cares a lot about that. Shiloh looks like a chihuahua trying to keep up with a horse. Wow. Since you've been here a lot before, we could play hide and seek. Hide and seek? Not exploring? Yep. If I'm searching for you and you're searching for me, we'll really have to look at everything. You weren't entirely sure of how effective that would be, but couldn't say he was totally wrong. Cove will hide first. Decision made, Cove took off towards the back of the library. You'd already agreed to play with him instead, so you covered your face and waited for 10 seconds. When you look up again, he was nowhere to be seen. You glanced over the way he went. Cove hadn't had much time to hide, but he was already invisible. The place you decided to check was... Beside the fairy tale display. Near the older kids section, there was a display with a bunch of fancy-looking books. They were old copies of old stories. Leaning over the Hans Christian Andersen section, hand resting on the glass above where the Little Mermaid and Thumbelina books were, you peered into a tiny corner. Use them, FG reads! And there was Cove, seemingly lost in thought. Done it in one. You waved to get his attention. I didn't think you'd find me so fast. Nice one. Oh, thanks. He shrugged. It's just the truth.
Okay.
Your turn now. I'm gonna cover my eyes and count to 10. I promise I won't peek. While Cove had his eyes securely behind the palm of the hand, you went to go hide. Near the stuffed animals. There's a place near the toddlers books with lots of stuffed animals for kids to play with. A tiny section among the boxes of toys and beanbags were almost out of sight if you didn't check closely. It was a perfect place to blend in. And for a little while, you did just that. Unfortunately, all those stuffed animals were also your downfall. As soon as you took a breath and leaned back, one of their press-to-talk sensors went off. Oh dear, I am late for a very important date. I am late for a... Like a super spy detective on the trail of a diabolical supervillain, which in this case was probably you. Cove was there as soon as the white rabbit started squeaking. Oh gosh, my voice. Wow, that's loud. The sudden loud noise had startled you and made you grimace. But Cove made a wincing face back at you, clearly understanding. He wiggled in his spot, far away from the rabbit, and gestured to the rest of the library.
All right.
It's my turn again. Start counting so I can pick a spot. Okay. Cove darted off before you even had a chance to fully close your eyes. 1 Mississippi. When the time was up, he was long gone again. There were still a lot of good places to hide, so you figured he was... Not sure, actually. I picked, like, the, fairy tales because he liked the older stuff at the playground. At least, like, he seemed concerned that, like, old people wouldn't like kids. So, like, I'm tempted to go with the old Christmas stuff. It was a perfect... the library had left all their Christmas things out, tucked away in the corner for months. It was a perfect place to hide. And sure enough, as soon as you crouched down and peered behind the fuzzy green man with the word Grinch above his head, there Cove was. That was so fast. Me and Mr. Grinch were just getting settled. He looked at the gigantic frowning doll. It seemed to be scowling at you the way it did at everybody all the time. All the littler kids are scared of him. So Shiloh. I'm not surprised, I don't think. He is a little funny looking. Let's keep playing. I can still win. He put his hands over his eyes, but before you could run off again, a librarian approached the two of you. Ah, kids, I've been looking for you. Cove peeked between his fingers at the stranger. Us? You must be Cove. Your dad told me he was waiting by the entrance. Cove blinked, mouth opening like he was going to say something, and then glanced back down at his pink cast. It's a pretty clear giveaway. Sure. My sister Lizzie with him? She's taller than us and has orange hair. You're Jessie, right? You nodded. Phew. Found both of you at once. That's right, she's with him. And the little guy with freckles. Come on, let's get you reunited so we can close up for the night. Ready to go home, you and Cove followed him up front, where the ragtag group of family members and Shiloh were all waiting.
Hey!
There you are. She was pouting. You could tell from all the way across the room, and it was only that much more obvious as you got closer. Did you win? We came in second. Thought you'd been with them the whole time. Glad you didn't just go off by yourself, at least. Cove glanced back over at you, and then back up at his dad.
Yeah.
Me too. See? A broad smile spread over Mr. Holden's face.
That's...
Even so, next time you should... Cove? Cove? Cove's dad glanced around, slightly frantic, but Cove, just like always, had snuck off without thinking to say anything. He's leaving. Cove's trying to be the first one to the car. With a sudden burst of speed, Lizzie darted for the exit, still in Victor to V mode, even for something like a race to ride in the front seat. There was nothing else for the three of you to do except head after them, pretending the librarians hadn't noticed all the commotion. Though Lizzie had been victorious in claiming a window seat in the car, you could tell by her crossed arms and occasional pout that she had still not forgiven your betrayal. Cove had sighed when he had to sit in the middle after Lizzie shot past him at the last second, but he cheered up some as you hopped in the back seat next to him. Wow! Balls deep. I mean, we're kids. We're growing up. Got a lot of growing up to do. Cove sighed when he had to sit in the middle after Lizzie shot past him the last second. But he cheered up so much you hopped in the backseat next to him. Did you say you came in second place? That's some
No.
good going. No, it's not. She levied another glare at you over her shoulder.
Sure.
Striving to improve is good too. That makes Jesse the winner in your family. You wriggled in your seat, hiding a smile behind your hands.
What?
What? Jesse kept finding me in our game. I lost. We need a rematch. Hide and seek with just you two? That doesn't even count as winning. Lizzie is salty. Salty sister.
Why?
Why not? It's not special. There's no judges or prizes. You eyed the seat that she'd fought so hard to win. That wasn't much of a prize either. Dad. Yes? You could see Cove's dad's eyes in the rearview mirror, suddenly attentive at his son's call. We need a prize. Oh, as a matter of fact? Mr. Holden focused intently on the road ahead, as though a suitable reward to please Cove might appear before him.
Right.
The big thing on the flyer was the chance to get a free pizza coupon, wasn't it? How about I call up a takeout place and we can have pizza at home for dinner? Lizzie huffed, pulling up her arms closer to her chest. Is Mom even gonna let you take pizza from Mr. Holden? We'll see. I'll ask her. I'll talk to all your moms about this. Please, you smiled as you stared out the window at the scenery whizzing by.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Holden. Yeah, thanks, Dad. You're welcome. I do what I can. But you really should have stuck with the group. The quiz would have been fun. And that was the plan when I dropped you off. We stayed together and didn't leave the library. I'm glad for that. I am. Well, there's a lot of trouble you can get into even if you do have a buddy along for the ride. Just be careful next time. I worry about you, and I bet Jesse's parents wouldn't want him to run off unexpectedly either. Okay, son?
Okay.
Okay. That's my boy. Now, enough guff from your old dad. Let's decide what kind of toppings we're gonna get. Pepperoni! Sounds good. Anything else? As the conversation continued from there, with debates on what was best to put on a pizza for the rest of the drive. Mr. Holden wanted anchovies, and the other 3 kids in the car had to band together to explain how gross they were. The way Cove's dad laughed up in the front seat made you wonder if he was doing it on purpose. You'd had a fun day already. But closing it with the promise of a free pizza, after all, and more time to hang out with Cove made it even sweeter. It was just a shame you hadn't been able to do the quiz, but skipping it for just 1 year didn't hurt. It was worth it. True facts. Okay, we'll save here. Oh gosh, my voice is starting to go, like constantly talking. And I'm out of water. How important is me reading everything to y'all? Because, like, honestly, I would just, like, read quietly to myself if I were playing this by myself. But I figure, like, if it's a stream, I should probably be talking. Like, it's awkward. So I'm definitely not used to talking this much. No. I do need more water though, so I will be right back. It should only take a minute. There is a I thought there was here we go. Outline. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hello. I have more water. Let's go shopping. Co's dad, come back before it gets dark, alright, sport? The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing over his glasses. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you'd first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow. Or maybe you made a noise because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You've got to learn how to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free them of sand, and then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first and then his dad. Jesse, hi.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Jesse? Nothing. You toed the pavement in front of you. It would be nice to tell them about the snail you found, but you didn't know if they like snails. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied folding the bills he had into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. Wait, what did I say? Nothing sounds fun. It does? You weren't sure about that. Yeah, like I had to double check. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him? You gave a ready nod, turning to squint in the direction of the stores like you could see the goods they had to offer all the way from where you stood. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't mind. Great. Sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd since your mom's only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp 10 to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend, too. Sure.
Good kid.
That's my boy. Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening back up, the bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped it into his pocket. And then with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. He followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. Oh gosh. Cove strayed towards the gentle tide creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining. Birds were chirping. It's a perfect day for kids like you. No. The sun was shining, and there weren't many clouds in the sky. Though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently. Well, he liked the shells, so are you looking for shells? Well, I'm gonna save here, because paranoia. Are you looking for shells? Sort of. Yep, snails. He's looking for snails. If you see any, you can let me know. You could manage that. You dropped your view to the sand, walking carefully so you didn't step on any. You were good at finding shells. You had a lot of them at home and always found new ones whenever you visited the beach. The comforting sound of waves filled the silence with a pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to run up the sand quickly when a wave rushed in more than a few times, although Cove threw a few glances your way. He didn't say a word. What did you want to go to the shops for? Need a new sand pail? What happened to your old one? Cove narrowed his eyes, thinking...
Whoa.
Seeming to think deeply for a second.
Whoa.
It disappeared. What? Really? Cove ducked his head down, lacing his fingers behind his back. Didn't seem like he was going to continue, so you nudged his arm. How did that happen? Well... Cove opened his mouth and then shut it again, considering. I took it to the beach one day. Uh-huh. When I got home, it wasn't anywhere. You left it there? Nope. It wasn't at the beach when I went back. And you lost it. It disappeared.
So...
What about you? What do you do out here? I honestly don't like the beach a lot, but I don't come to the beach a lot. You like the beach fine, but you rarely went down without Lizzie. Today had been a special occasion. Why? I don't know, I guess I'm doing other stuff. Cove seemed personally offended by this revelation. The beach must matter a lot to him, but that makes sense. His name is Cove after all. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No longer just waves and footsteps, it's fate. I mean, different people like different stuff. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying a lovely summer day. Call of birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. What was it? Yeah, it's nice. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you, and there was a bounce in your step as you began looking at all the familiar sights. There were so many things to do, you didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't work out. Couldn't quite work out. What's that? Cove pointed to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables, with large, colorful umbrellas blooming in their middles. Hi, Anthony. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Amazing Alexander! Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander! In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read "The Amazing Alexander" in glittery golden script. Why tell people his name if it's already on a sign? Cove hummed with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the amazing Alexander began shuffling a deck of cards. You bit your lip, reluctantly starting to follow after Cove again. You continued looking over your shoulder, however, wanting to see as much as you could before you got too far away. Hey! Not watching where you're going proved a bad idea as you bumped right into Cove. Oh, sorry. Do you want to stay or something? If that's okay. He briefly lifted his arms up off his sides before returning them to place. You could have said so. With that, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! Cove is unimpressed. Cove is having none of this magician's nonsense. The amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Don't worry about it, Anthony. You didn't miss much. What's this behind your ear? Ah! Trying to see Dragon 2, but too late? Aw. Shoot, I don't know how to answer this! What is behind my ear? Back away. It wasn't enough to deter him, and the crowd gathered behind you made it impossible to move any further. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer, and you swallowed anxiously. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the 4 of diamonds out from behind your ear. What? You knew that it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get how he'd done it. There was light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. Oh, what was that? Oh, thank you for the 2 months, Mugiwara. You continue to be a loyal member of the Cupcake Crew, and I forgot to take off my PRB message. You are such a sweetheart. Amazing Alexander said, "This is for you." Magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump of them tied to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a normal circle. And one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. Now you are really grateful he chose you. And then he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with the cards. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. You wonder if Cove's whole family was magic? Well, at least I had fun. You saw a magic trick and you got a great balloon. That was more than enough to make it a worthwhile event. You thought that if you could find a card to practice with, maybe you could make it disappear too. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side that there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. What toy? What toy? Ah, yes. Must drink water. I don't know. I would probably pick up a Rubik's Cube. Or maybe an 8-ball. Magic 8-ball. Kaleidoscope because of reasons. Nah, Magic 8-ball seems fun. Oh! You shift the balloon string to the other hand so you could hold it up in front of you. Then you thought of a question in your mind, shaking the ball and hearing some kind of liquid slosh around inside it. Once you had given it a good shake, you held it upright, waiting for the answer to appear. Concentrate and ask again. You wrinkled your nose and set the Magic 8-ball back on the rack. It wasn't the answer you were hoping for. You followed Cove around to the other side of the stall. He went under an awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. Are you having fun? He nodded and you smiled back at him, happy to hear it. When Cove moves towards some stalls nearby, you followed beside him. While Cove looked at the sand pails, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out on it. They were sewn in the shape of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that red handmaid standing proudly in front. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. Oh, take care, Anthony. Let's get the crab. Your hand stopped on the crab. Claws raised, tiny smile on its face. You're never joining her Discord? Rude. It had big eyes and little legs, and the fabric was smooth when you picked it up. You had seen a few crabs at the beach before, though they usually scuttled away before you got a chance to look at them closely. You liked the idea of having a crab all of your own, even if it was just a soft animal. You were instantly enamored. Checking the price, though, your heart fell. $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You rarely had more than a $5 bill to your name. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh, it's $6. I didn't bring any money.
Alright.
It's fine. Oh, gosh. I'm kind of like, you don't have to. Cove didn't mind that. He took the keychain from your hands, and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself, too. I was always gonna get you something. I already got the money for it. You were a little nervous, but happy with your purchase nonetheless. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you, too. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey, Cove. Yeah? Thanks for getting me it. It's alright. It wasn't clear if he really knew how much you appreciated it. What? You were going to thank him for the keychain, but instead just shook your head, smiling. Cove raised an eyebrow, but didn't push the issue. Cove looked further down the street where different food carts were lined up. He rested his non-cast arm over his stomach, just as he did, yours let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all of this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. You two wandered around a short while, looking at all the delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as my throat. And as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled even louder. After passing up hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, and pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you... Honestly, cheese, cinnamony, sprinkles, those are all really good choices. Like, because sweet and cinnamon pretzel is really good. Sprinkles are really good. Cheese is good. Like, cheese is like my favorite food. Love a good cheese. is covered in gooey melted cheese. Hold on, you licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. It was covered in gooey melted cheese, just the way you like it. It seemed odd to get a dessert pretzel before eating normal food. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged your chairs out to sit down. These balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Cove placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand that was wrapped around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere where it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist.
Oh.
Cove bounced his arm up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. And after watching his balloon jostle around but remain attached, he smiled, satisfied. Could you help me too? I can't tie it to my own wrist. He repeated the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast restricting his fingers on one hand. And a string already tangled around the other.
Okay.
Got it. Two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time, you finished your pretzel. You were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon to bring it down to your level. Then you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to look like it was jumping through the air. You turned to face towards the beach. It almost looked like it was swimming in the wave, like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he had left the remaining part of his pretzel on the wrapper, and he was gripping his dolphin too. His name is Cherry. She's actually an alien. When no one is looking, she transforms back into her true alien self. She has purple skin and 10 eyes. You sighed, wishing you could meet a real-life alien. What's yours? Cove considered this question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. With a loud pop, the dolphin exploded into ribbons. No! F's in the chat for dolphin balloon. Oh gosh. Oh no. For a second, all Cove did was gape in shock, like you. Then his cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten. Jesse, Who's Alexander? Oh, the magician. Just give him my balloon. You looked at Cove, then up to your balloon, bobbing gently in the air above you. You can have mine. It was better than letting him cry more. Cove sniffled, glancing up at the balloon, then back at you. No, it's yours. I don't want to take it from you. It's okay, really. Cove shook his head. Even though it wasn't your fault, you felt bad. Still, the offer seemed to lift Cove's spirits, and that was good. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sand pail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset, fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been a good one, except for the sad final note. Poor dolphin. Aw. Ow. Alright, I guess we'll just keep going like in kind of like an up-down sneaky order. Grown up. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you, along with Lizzie, to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient, waiting for her golf class. Golf class? Why golf? Golf class that evening. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy. Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They're always inside and telling everybody they're too busy to play.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Duh.
I said why. It'll be fun. Duh. Oh, I thought the why was like, why are they too busy to play? You should always make time for play. What do they do inside that we don't? Besides use the phone a lot. Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove. It is true that I, an adult, don't play outside. But I do play inside. Big same. I don't like outside. There is no climate control outside. Oh gosh.
What do you think?
What do you think? Do you want to? Yeah, actually, I want to. You do? Seriously? Yeah. Hey, let me think. What do I want to be? Satisfied that neither of you were about to bail on her, Lizzie thought about her options while you watched. After a few seconds, she clapped her hands together and beamed, apparently having settled on something without asking either of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a professional golfer. Jesse, you and Cove can be a beach ball. You're just deciding for us? Wow, you don't get to do that. A beach volleyball player, a gymnast, or a tennis player. Why can't we pick anything we want? Because I have a fun idea, that's why. And we have to play sports as adults? Yep. There's other kinds of sports too.
Right?
It isn't the same. What do you think, Jesse? Don't those choices sound super cool? You want to be that, huh? Yeah, like, oops. Isn't there anything else we can be? Lizzie stomped a foot on the ground. Nope, come on, just decide already. Knowing that Lizzie wouldn't let this go anytime soon, you sighed. Cove was not impressed with Lizzie's attitude, though he didn't bother talking more about it for now. You thought over the list of possibilities. beach volleyball, gymnastics, or tennis? Probably gymnastics. If you couldn't spend the afternoon doing cartwheels and handstands in the backyard, you might as well practice them inside. There wouldn't be as much space as there was outside, but you could still try. Yes, that was clearly the top option. I guess I'll be a gymnast.
All right.
What about you, Cove? Picked volleyball. Should have known. Okay, so Jesse, you're a famous gymnast, and Cove, you're on a popular beach volleyball team, and Lizzie's ponytail bobbed and she proudly stretched her arms wide. We're Olympic athletes who just competed in the Olympics. Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcement. He made a face and adjusted his glasses on his nose. That's really specific.
Rude.
Wait, what?
Rude.
Can I get some rudes in the chat? Alright. Take care, Balls Deep. That's what makes it fun. Anyway, Lizzie marched back and forth in front of us, getting lost in her own imagination. I won all gold medals, and people are calling me the next Mickey Wright. Wow. Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot and turned on him, her brown eyes shining with impatience. Doesn't matter if you know who she is. It's a golf thing. You guys won medals too. Cove, your team was bronze, and Jesse, you just barely missed out on the gold and got silver. It's more real. We're not all first place? Wow, what a jerk! Oh my gosh. I'm regretting this entire line of decisions. Like, this might be the first save scum of the playthrough. It's like, oh, gosh. I'm gonna have to think about that, actually. I've been drinking a lot of water, and I need to use the restroom. So I will be right back. Alright, I am back. We can do better than silver. Jesse's right.
Sorry.
Lots of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the breaks. Then you're the one who did, not me. Lizzie looked taken aback by Cove's declaration, as though the thought of her losing was completely absurd. No way, it wouldn't make sense. I'm already practicing my golf game. She took a golfing stance to make her point, pretending to swing her club and hit an invisible ball. So what kind of house do you want to live in? Cove hasn't changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he'd live as an adult appealed to him. Apparently, because he looked back at Lizzie with some of the anger fading. I'm going to live on the beach. Blech. That's kind of boring. We already have that. No, not like normal houses here with a street. On it. Right on the sand. By the water. Just like that, all the tension was back. You hadn't even had a chance to choose where you would want to live. That's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a bunch of sand and shells. But I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. You didn't give out a list of things to pick from this time, so I'm picking that. Why are we even playing pretend if we can't imagine anything?
Jeez.
Well, I'm gonna live in a mansion far away from here and far away from you. One with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golfing.
It's not fair.
How come you were yelling about mine when your idea's even more impossible? Yo! Lizzie's face flushed red, her hands balling into fists at her sides. It is not impossible, and it's better than yours. Disagreements always seem to... Yeah, I know, right, Mugiwara? Disagreements always seem to crop up when the two of them were together, and you always felt like you were stuck in the middle. But when it came to the topic at hand this time, you thought... I'm tired of deciding between either of them. You didn't engage with their bickering and instead dreamt up your own dream house. And you weren't going to share your idea with them either. You already knew it was a good one. You can swim whenever you want if you live on a beach. We can still swim anytime we want. From where we live now, being a little closer doesn't mean anything. Says you. Two of them scowl at each other. You're being so unreasonable. No, you are! I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense.
Ugh.
It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Nothing you said so far had kept them from being mad. Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging the hem of her shirt and poking her tongue out at Cove. Oh gosh, my throat. This might be the last moment for this stream. Or at least like the last one I read out loud. Lizzie, Jesse, it's time to get ready to go.
You alright with that?
Sorry you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. But...
Bye.
Bye, Jesse. Still a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Okay. Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? Tell the truth. They were fighting, Cove and Lizzie, for the whole time. Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed as Mom put both hands on her hips. Elizabeth! Oh, you're in trouble, girl! I told you to be kind to him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know, I tried, but he was...
That's enough.
No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself, about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Alright, you better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. I don't know how to pronounce that. Noelani? Noelani? Huh. Nolani? Let's go with Nolani. Where'd you leave the car keys? Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say a thing. Your parents noticed she wasn't in a mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you'd like to listen to. Let's cheer Lizzie up. You were happy to see it brightened her up right away, and she started singing along with you. Soon enough, her bad mood was a thing of the past. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm on your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to a restaurant. You went to a restaurant that you had all been going to ever since you could remember. The whole afternoon had been a bunch of shouting. You hadn't been able to stop, but you could kind of tell that this all helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She knew it was coming when you all got back home. Clearly, she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto your street and then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So,
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in his driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good. Let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the phone. The rest of you followed behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. It was her fault for doing it in the first place. You hadn't done anything wrong by telling the truth. It wasn't like Lizzie was going to say it on her own. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and began to dial. Mom reached over and pressed a button on the base. Suddenly you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple times and stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end. Ow. Evening. Holden residence. Wait, Was your mom suddenly different? You have two moms. Lizzie looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly.
Ugh.
Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie Carnation? What a surprise. But of course you can still say hey to the boy. He sounded cheery as usual, though definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Nolani. Jesse and I are here too. Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late. I guess since we've been getting to know, like, that family better, get to say hello. I'm gonna be less shy now. Hi. Gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No. Well, yes, but it's going to be okay. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly. Despite that, it didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good you didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab him for you. There was some shuffling on the other end. He must not have gone far because you could still hear him calling out. Cove, there's someone on the phone for you. After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie called just so she could talk to you.
Are you sure?
Jesse's on the other end listening too. Don't you want to say hi? It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Hello? Hey, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know. Dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though, and Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
I just called to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell that she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. Me and Jesse should get gold too. That's right, Lizzie had kept denying you two what you deserved. Lizzie was momentarily stunned silent by the demand. She probably forgot that that had even happened already. Wow. All right, we all win the gold. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. You wondered if she thought he'd refuse her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time, really.
Yeah.
You can go back to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first, though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jesse. You perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled, even if he couldn't see it. Bye, Cove. With that said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left, since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a relief.
All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now, too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone. Taking it off speaker, they continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell what about. You were glad that was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. And Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. Okay. I do want to keep playing, so I will, but I'm not going to be like reading out loud anymore. My voice can't take it. I'll still like comment on stuff because I do that like when I'm not streaming anyway. But no more reading out loud. I need to rest my voice.
Why?
It's okay.
Aww.
Not really.
Perfectly rational as childs tend to be. You know what? That's actually a good point. It had to be a ghost. Well, no, it's actually a really good point, and I wasn't even considering that.
Not really.
Oh no! Eat him first.
So...
Mm. Not gonna abandon Cove.
No.
Right, that's awful, Muyora. Well, my leg wasn't broken, but it was pretty messed up. Close to broken.
Really? Um...
Main character is so much better at playing pretend than their sister. Yep, that is very true.
Maybe. No.
Yeah.
Bye.
Are you okay?
Huh?
Sweetie.
Wow! Moms are evil. Confirmed, confirmed. Oh gosh, keep clicking off the game. Exactly. Gosh, I have like a massive sweet tooth. I need sweets.
Yeah.
Peanut butter is usually enough for you? I like peanut butter. Actually got some Honeycrisp apples today. Forgot peanut butter. For your sweet tooth? Peanut butter, like, I guess... I guess there are store-bought peanut butters that are just like a lot of sugar. So those would probably be pretty sweet. I have like a lot of different kinds of candies and stuff. What's Kajeta? Am I pronouncing that right? Actually, let me Google that. Thickened caramel, sweetened with caramelized goat milk. Goat milk? Type of dulce de leche. Oh, that sounds actually really good. I'd love to try that.
You can finish it. Thank you.
Mm.
Ugh. Uh-huh.
No.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
Mm. Nobody calls me chicken. Nah, I'm not gonna get upset about stuff like that.
stove.
That's cute.
Mm.
All right. Sleep well, Mugiwara. Yeah. I will. Take care. Stay alive.
Jeez. Uh.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sorry. Yeah. you Dumbo. Sorry.
Now,
Okay.
take care.
Fine, fine. Ugh.
Alright, save. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Okay. I've done 5 and there are 5 left. I think I'm gonna call it here. I want to keep playing, but I also want to like take a break, so. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll probably stream this again maybe tomorrow. But let me find some place to send everyone. Sure, let's go say hi to Captain Aham. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Take care. Stay alive.
To work super. You had to work super goddamn hard for that 3v3. Take a, dude. Do not burn yourself.